We are a manufacturing company primarily located in the Midwest, Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then we do have a facility down in Mexico. And we are a metal finisher, so we do everything from polishing, plating, fabrication, coating, assembly. Probably one of the more difficult things is communication, because you have some people that are at their computers all day. You have others that are out on the shop floor, not really interacting with computers, at least not in the way that people behind a desk might. So always really trying to make sure that our communication vehicles are varied and that we're getting the right messages to the right people. And I would say the other piece of that as well is when you work with that different type of populations, from both kind of what they're doing for their daily job to also having multiple different regions, the risks and some of the health behaviors that you're really trying to improve are varied greatly. So we have to make sure that we've got a wide array of programs and that we try to personalize those as much as possible when that opportunity is there. It wasn't something we necessarily set down the path to align them that closely. There was always some level of overlap. It just wasn't really well defined. And as we were going through changes in our organization, just with structure and growth, the opportunity presented itself. And somebody that likes a challenge, I wanted to step up and see if we couldn't even take that a step further. And there's a lot of great research that's been put out there on total worker health and how there is such an important connection between the two. And with the makeup of Lincoln Industries, what we do, being a manufacturing environment where there is a lot of physical work, and knowing that the physical body is absolutely relevant to our business success, the connection made perfect sense. I think one of the neatest examples of how this played out recently was in our fabrication department. We had a lot of individuals that were experiencing significant shoulder soreness, pain. It was getting to the point where we were going to have to intervene at an occupational health level of potentially putting them on work restrictions, potentially lost days, lost time, and that was absolutely affecting production. Well, as we're talking through this, our wellness specialist just had a lot of questions, was really interested in why that was taking place, because that wasn't in an area that she spent a lot of time. So she didn't quite understand the work. Well, through our safety technician that was working with that team and our wellness specialist who has expertise in functional movement, they paired up together, went out there and did a full day evaluation, watching the workers, doing the work themselves, going through it. And they were able to come up with a new program where it involved a lot of dynamic movements for a pre-shift stretch, and then what they did over lunch and at the end of the day for their cool down. And since we've done that, we've seen a huge increase in shoulder mobility. We've seen almost the entire team report reductions on just a simple pain scale for their shoulder at the end of the day, and we haven't had any shoulder incidents since we started that. It's something everybody that works there intuitively understands. Started with our owner, Mark LeBaron. He grew up where health and wellness was just an important personal part of his life. He understood the value when he ate well, when he got sleep, when he was moving and getting in his regular activity, he felt better. He understood that he performed better at work. He was able to perform at a higher level for the business. And so it was something for him, it was a no-brainer of we're going to implement this in here. And as they did that, they decided to start adding in different incentives, start integrating health and wellness into different programs, like leadership development, like setting personal performance objectives around health and wellness. A huge component of our culture of health and wellness is making sure that we're out there in front of the organization, in front of their coworkers, recognizing the biggest change to even the smallest change. It doesn't matter because they're all important, and having everybody take pride in their own success, and then even taking pride in them maybe being a catalyst for somebody else stepping up and making change, really just creates this positive environment where people are excited to actually share what their health and wellness goals are. And it's not weird to discuss biometric screening scores with a coworker. It's great when you've got leadership support and you've got the C-suite or the executives, putting budget money towards these initiatives and walking the talk or putting the communications out there themselves. But unless you have it at that shop floor level where people are actually wanting to engage with it, feel confident and empowered that that's an okay thing to do while they're here at work, it's never going to really get to that culture where you can visibly see it. And I think that's an important part, because you can't just approach it just at the leadership level to start, or you can't just grow at grassroots. It really does take both sides coming together on that.